Two. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Yes, the meeting is setting up
streaming.
for live streaming.
I love it.
Oh, we're going live. We're going live.
Yes,
Yep,
we are.
here we go. I got the. All right.
Yes, I got the notification.
I got the notification.
Good.
Alana, did you get the notification? Elisa, did you get the notification?
Thank you, baby.
I'm on.
All right. I can
Can
hear.
you
Okay, so I hear a little
So,
feedback.
technical suggestion. Everybody needs to mute the video where they are watching YouTube right now,
Got it.
because you're going to get feedback.
Feedback. Yeah, I was hearing a little bit of feedback already. Awesome.
Sorry about
Okay.
that,
It's
please.
definitely muted. Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, how do we look, Danielle? How do we look on the screen when you look at Live the Book? Can you see us when you look at YouTube?
I see us. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So, hi, everyone. Welcome to Live the Book. Hi. What an interesting March we are having.
Yes.
Hey, baby.
And so you see, we are not physically together, but we're still together. So we added to our remote environment 2 of our fabulous, famous listeners and contributors. So we've got Elisa joining us tonight. Hi, Elisa.
Hey.
And we have Alana joining us tonight. Hi, Alana. Hi. And
Hey,
so
Alana.
you've got Daria and Danielle and me as usual. And we are so committed and dedicated to Live the Book and our fabulous book for March that we wanted to come to you from our homes. We're staying safe, we're socially distancing, and we're working it out. So I will start with, how was your day, Daria? Let's talk about that. How's it going?
My day. Well, I learned a new tool today.
Okay.
I learned about the rose, the bud, and the thorn.
Oh, yes. Very nice.
Tell
Very
us.
nice
Please
activity.
tell us. Tell us.
Well, so the rose is something that's good and beautiful. The bud is something that's hopeful and future focused.
Mhm.
The thorn is something that's, not so great.
Mhm.
So what's beautiful, I went on a nice long run with Devin, my son, today. What is hopeful, they
The
better
bud?
get this COVID under control. And then what's challenging, we're stuck in the house.
That thorn. Mhm. All right.
Wait, say this again. So it's the rose,
The rose, the bud, and the thorn.
and the thorn.
Yeah, we use it in a lot of trainings because it kind of helps give you like a little bit of a nugget of someone and what's going on, and it
That's
sums it up
good.
nicely. Yeah. So, well, Danielle, let's go to you. What you want? We can use Daria's new tool and go for it.
Okay. The rose was I talked through all these questions with Larry, and he's completely comfortable with me sharing my true opinion.
Okay.
That's
very nice.
definitely
Prepping in
yes,
advance.
that's definitely a
Great
rose.
rose.
Definitely, this is like a very controversial topic.
Yes.
It could be.
Could be, yes.
And I'm just grateful that we have the type of relationship where we can be honest with each other. So I
That
appreciate
is
that.
a beautiful rose. And what's your bud?
Yes. What is the bud? What does that mean?
Like an
The
area of
bud
hope.
is something like the
Hopeful.
future. It's bloom. It could bloom
Yeah.
in the future. Something
Oh.
potential
Hopeful.
oriented.
Well,
Okay.
there's that. There's so many blooms. Life is full of blooms, and spring has sprung, and
Spring is sprung.
Okay.
and whoever knows,
Okay.
knows.
So
what is
the
a true
thorn.
bud.
Okay. The thorn.
The thorn is that we're in the home. We're in the home. We can't get out. We can't do the things we want to do. Our kids are missing out on like senior trips and proms, and and really, like, I'm a Leo. I love people. I need to be around people. This is a little bit difficult,
Yeah.
and I can't see my mom. So
Yeah.
that's definitely my thorn.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Elisa?
Today I got a little exercise in, did some jogging while my kids rode their bikes. So that was really fun to get out. So I'm hopeful that maybe I can get in shape while we're home. My thorn would be that I don't know how long this is going to last.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just thinking about all my teachers, to be honest with you, and how much work they're doing and how hard it is on the kids to be home and not with their friends. So that's my thorn right now.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your bud? I didn't hear the bud. Oh, that she might get in shape.
That
Okay.
she might get in shape over quarantine. Hashtag self-quarantine, right? Alana, what about you?
So I would say that my rose is that I finally had a place to wear these earrings that I had bought. I had bought them for an event.
Okay.
So what do you think it might represent?
Chess. It's chess.
Which piece?
Oh.
The queen.
It's a black queen.
Yes, auntie. Yes.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah. So I had bought them for an event that we were supposed to be doing for work. Because I figured it was a clever way to have that explicit statement that was very Alana-ish.
I love it, Alana.
But since we're not doing that event, I was like, oh man, I'm in the house. So I was like, oh, this will be a good way for me to finally be able to put them on.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
I like those. I want those.
Yeah.
Yes, I do too.
I got them on Etsy.
Oh, Etsy.
Oh, Etsy.
Okay.
So
Well,
I can definitely share the link.
Remember your friends. Yes.
I can only wear them on Saturday and Sunday, but I
me
definitely would
Me
like
too.
them. Yeah.
But I would like to wear them. Yes.
Yeah.
So what's your bud?
I would say that my bud is probably I see an opportunity for me to get back into crocheting.
Okay.
I have been in a better place health-wise and physically, and my hands have been feeling really good. And I had to cut off my nails because I had broken one and can't get a manicure for who knows how long.
Right.
So and I need something else to do, so I'm going to go try crocheting again. I think my thorn is I realized this week I haven't been as physically active, partly because we had the 2 rainy days and there were a lot of worms out, and I have a phobia of worms.
Okay.
So I've struggled to get in all my steps. I've been pretty good recently about making sure I hit my 10,000 steps a day. So it's been a struggle, and I need to make sure I'm consistently doing that.
I have a recommendation on YouTube, which we love YouTube. Look for Leslie Sansone, Walk at Home. And literally you can do a mile in 16 minutes from her walking program. It's a walking program. Leslie Sansone. She has so many videos, Alana. I mean, it's amazing. So on the rainy days this week, that's what I did to get my steps in.
In the house?
In the house. Trust me.
Like in the house?
Trust me. I will send you the link.
So is it like you're walking in place?
Yes. And you're moving and grooving, and you're up and you're back and you
Wow.
Yes. And your heart rate goes up. And I will send you 2 links. I commit to that before I go to bed tonight.
Please do, because I've been looking for low impact things I can do.
I'm a low impact chick myself. So yes, absolutely. I'll send it out to everybody. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, that's what I did on the rainy days, because I was like, I'm too cute. I'm not going out in the rain.
Yeah.
But
He doesn't like the rain either. So
I mean, I think I'm cute. I don't know who thinks I'm cute, but
Well, if you don't think you're cute, who will? You are. We're all beautiful. Stop.
So, okay, so I'll go really quickly. The rose is that this is my 3rd, night of, I've been talking to so many of my friends in so many different ways from all over the country. Tuesday night, I was talking to work friends. Last night, I was talking to my neighborhood friends, my homegirls, and like tonight, and I just think you've got to, the way to connect with so many people virtually, it's great, because I'm an extreme extrovert, and so I need this, and 3 nights a week is not bad for me. It's great, and so my bud is I'm hopeful for technology and medical knowledge of people who know what's going on and they know how to help and guide our country. So I'm still hopeful for that. I'll
be right back. Sorry.
Okay.
Right back.
After a couple of the different press conferences, you know, so that's something that I'm hopeful for, just the information. And then Thorn is, you know, I mean, I'm in the house.
Oh,
And you know, it's
you.
it's not me. It's not me. And it's just different. But then there's this commitment to like cook. Like I committed like years ago to once a week. And I feel like folks are looking at me like, what else can you do? So
oh my,
it's
right.
my thorn. Yeah, it's not so bad, you know. So I'm like trying to give recipes like, oh, you should make. so instead of me, but that's my little thorn. Yeah. But
Oh,
it's all good. I mean, first world problems, right? I mean, we're by fortune, we're all here. We're able to be relaxed about, you know, the conditions we're in, right? So there's that. So
yeah.
yeah. So I do like Jaria's activity. I know she had to go take a minute away, but the wives,
The wives.
the wives,
The
um,
wives.
the
Mhm.
wives. Yes, this was
Mhm.
something else. And I know at the end of the broadcast we're going to talk about how we might decide how many books we read for, you know, next month, because we're going to be in the house.
We're
Right?
gonna be in the house.
We're going to be in the house. So I'm going to start with our first question that we always ask. And when Daria gets back, well, she'll jump right in. But the first question always is did you like the book? Elisa.
I really did like the book. I thought it was very entertaining. I read it probably in a few days, which is not typical for me.
Right.
And I felt like I could kind of relate to it on several levels.
Oh,
Okay.
tell me.
Surprisingly. And so because I could kind of relate to it, I just couldn't, you know, put it down. I just needed to know more. And I wanted to keep listening, and when I had it on audio. So it was really good.
So Elisa could relate to it. Okay. And Danielle, did you like the book?
I liked it up until the end. Like they made her look crazy. She went into the psych ward. It looked like a weak biatch. And Thursday looked ridiculous. I hated her in the end. Did I like the book? I enjoyed the story in my head that I had of the book. The actual book, I didn't really like the wrap up. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the way they made her look crazy. I didn't
You
like
liked your version. You
I
liked
like
your
my
version.
version. Yeah, I didn't like the way she settled for less, the way like she did all this for some stupid man. Like no man is worth that. Like I wasn't feeling that. But
Right.
did I enjoy the book? Absolutely. Did I think about different things that I never thought about? Absolutely. You know what I mean? But the actual book, no.
Right.
But thank you for the thought and ideas.
Right. Alana, did you like the book?
Not really. I felt like the story was very unrealistic, and I felt like the writing felt very forced. For the story to continue. I mean, I know like the whole idea of polygamy obviously is very real. So is mental illness, which, you know, they were both big concepts in there. So I thought that part was very interesting, but like the book in itself, just, I wasn't impressed with the author or the storytelling.
Gotcha. Daria, did you like the book?
I did. And I actually liked the ending. The closer it got to the end, the more I liked the book.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I'm sure the questions will address some of that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see the end coming.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So, and I also, this book I listened to over a long period of time, which, you know, I mean, it was a little here, then a little there, and a little here. So I kept finding myself having to go back to my notes and remind myself, wait, what happened? Who is this? So, but that said, I mean, the fact that I was able to do that and still follow it told me that it wasn't that complex a plot. Like I
Right.
at certain
Exactly.
points I was like, fast forward 30 seconds, fast forward, and I was still able to keep up with
Keep
the
up.
book,
Sure.
Mhm,
even
Right.
at like 1.5x speed. So,
Yeah.
this is probably the only book that we've read in a while that I could do that with.
Yeah. Well, we
right.
mixed it up. We got to mix it up. So
But I liked it.
right. I mean, it was entertaining, right? I thought it was entertaining. I thought it made me think of a couple different points of reference, and I think, yeah, just is that something possible, right? So the first question is that, could you share your husband or wife with someone else?
Mm.
I can repeat the question.
I'm married, so I'm going to plead the fifth.
Oh, I'm not pleading the fifth. I ain't pleading a damn thing. I ain't sharing Larry with
No.
nobody.
Right.
Nobody. No.
At least
I
let's
don't
plead the
Yeah.
fifth.
Yeah.
I could not share either. I think
Mm-mm.
that there's just too many insecurities I would have, and I feel like I'm a pretty confident woman. However, that just kind of crosses the line for me.
Mhm.
So
Sure.
no sharing.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Alana, Daria, what about you?
As a single woman who has never been married, but I've had relationships that have not always been monogamous against my will.
Oh, so you had relationships that were monogamous against your will?
Meaning they cheated.
Oh,
It's not something that I could see voluntarily doing, something knowingly doing. There's a level of intimacy that I think I would want to have with my husband that I wouldn't want him to have with someone else. And like Elisa said, I can see that creating a lot of insecurities and jealousy, and I could see acting a lot like Thursday.
Okay.
I refuse to act like Thursday. Like,
Yeah, I definitely
I
don't
would have
think,
to roll the hell out. Like,
right. I just don't think I would knowingly put myself in that situation, which is why I think I was a huge Big Love fan, which was a series on HBO, the story of, like polygamists and, like living together, cohabitating. I mean, I think it's like a fascinating concept. So, knowingly, no. I just don't think I'm built that way. I'm not. But yeah, I mean, I think some people can handle it, but I think I would definitely feel insecure and feel like there's a lot to compare. And I think that's human nature.
Daria.
I know Ariadne.
Can I plead the fifth?
No, you cannot.
I plead the fifth.
No, this is live the book. We're living the book. Can you share your man?
I mean, possibly.
Okay, Tell me more.
I mean, it depends how you feel. Like, it depends on, I mean, when you say husband,
Yeah.
that
Husband.
changes the concept.
It
But like,
does.
would
It
you
does.
be in a polyamorous
Oh,
relationship?
sure, right.
Polygamy is marriage. Polyamorous is like you're not
Multiple
necessarily.
relationship. Sure. Yeah.
So could I do that, baby?
Right. It's like a polyamorous could be like a married couple and then they add a person, I think, what I've read.
Or it could just be that you have multiple people.
Yes.
But meaning the woman, like meaning we could have multiple people?
Yeah.
But the question
not
was, can you
not
share?
at once.
Yeah.
No, why not?
I also think
not
there's
what I meant.
something. I also think there's something to like when Keisha, when you were mentioning like the show Big Love, like they were all together in like the same house or
compound.
Like in a compound. So like they were well aware of each other. They took care of each other's kids.
Right.
In the scenario that Thursday had developed, they weren't supposed to know about each other. Right. So like that's a very different type of situation where there's a secrecy.
Right.
And so when you don't know things, like that, like who the person is, even what they look like. Yeah, you're drawing your own conclusions. Like that in itself makes you feel a little bit more insecure than like where the other situation is more of like a family.
Right. Sure. I mean, and really, I mean, we're talking about, you know, terms that are pretty modern. I mean, in I don't want to say the mainstream, but I guess for the lack of a better word, like the mainstream world, like, you know, polyamorous or, you know, and polygamists have been around for years, but in terms of having the conversation as a part of regular marriages. And I think the question was around husband and wife and sharing. Could you share? So, I mean, that's kind of why that was the question. What, like, could you share your husband or could you share your wife? And so you're saying no, Daria, but a relationship.
I mean, when you add the title of husband,
yes.
I mean, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's
right.
not
right.
Not knowingly.
Not knowingly. Right. Sure. So
Yeah.
the second question is about Seth. So Seth was the first person who made Thursday feel special and loved, and her first serious relationship. She agreed to the polygamy because she thought it was the only way to be with him. Did you do things or settle for things with your first love that you would never settle for now? Well, Danielle.
Absolutely. Like,
yeah.
Yes, like you fall in love with your first love, like something crazy, something ridiculous. Like it took me 10 years to go over that full 10 years, at least. I don't even remember. Keisha, you would know because I probably told you today I finally was over him.
Correct.
You know what I mean? But the things that I think that I did and I settled for, I let him get away with. Like Larry would never,
right,
ever. You know what I mean? But I love Larry way more than I love
that first person. Love. Yes.
You know what I mean? And yeah. And I feel bad for Larry because that dude got like the better part, I guess, of me.
Well, the untapped, right? Like that untapped, you know, like new, fresh.
That all in love. Like right. I'm crazy fool for you, love. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like right. Nobody will ever get that now. Like it'll always be contained, controlled.
Done. We buried it.
It's not done. It's like a naive thing.
Naive, right? Yeah, Alana, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just not. You're a bit naive. You don't know because you haven't been hurt. You haven't you also haven't experienced great love either.
Absolutely.
So like you haven't had either of those extremes at that point. So you just you don't even know what the possibilities are when you're in that first love.
Mm-hmm. So we all can think back to our first love, right? And so are those, I mean, can you identify one of those things? I mean, that's the question. I mean, did you do things or settle for things that you know you would never do? And could you pinpoint them? Yeah. You know, if you close your eyes, Elisa.
Well, I was thinking about something that Alana said about how she was in a relationship that wasn't monogamous, but he cheated.
Yeah.
And so my first, love had cheated on me. And I realized that I was actually the other woman. So yeah, it was very hard, because he was like my best friend as well. And so it took some time, to get over, but I think about things that, I settled for back then, that I definitely would never settle for now. And you grow and you learn and,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, those are life lessons, right? That's what they're there for.
Yes. And so that's why I said I kind of relate to some of the things that, Thursday did in this book.
Well, I think back to mine, and I think about like that whole dressing up, trying to be perfect. Just never trying to make any mistakes and feeling like I didn't even realize I was walking on eggshells because I was trying to be such a pleaser, to the point where it was really I was making myself sick, trying to be this perfect. Yeah, but you learn, right? Because that's not love. Love is not, like Oprah says, love should not hurt, right? So, or make you feel this crazy level of discomfort. So yeah, you settle for things like I need to get up before him so I could be beautiful. Like that's Yeah, that's not real.
I didn't do all that. I didn't do all that. I wasn't a good girlfriend. Like I deserved everything I got.
I can't imagine that.
Like I can't even say it was his fault. Like I was like, oh, you want to be done? Bye. You know what I mean? Like I was a horrible girlfriend. You know what I mean? And I learned.
Yeah.
However, you know, I've learned.
So I mean, I think we're all saying, you know, there are things that we probably settled for. And when we find these things out that we're the other, or we're, you know, you shouldn't get up 15 minutes before your boyfriend, you know, because they can't manage, you know, you waking up and being awake when they are. That's crazy. I never did that again. Let me just say that. I never did. We're all just gonna wake up together and it's just gonna be what it is. So think of question number 3. As things started taking a turn for the worse, Thursday's resentment grew, but she thought if she just worked harder, if she cooked more, was better and more giving in bed, that the relationship would return to its happy origins. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think that that's a real concept in a relationship, when you think that things are going awry? If you do more or learn some things, it can make a relationship better?
Herself to like the other women, you know, and thinking, oh, if I'm better, if I'm, you know, sexier, or if I'm, you know, I cook my, you know, my man a 4-course meal, whereas these other women aren't, you know, doing that. She's thinking she's better. She's making herself think in her mind that she's better than they are, until she, you know, finally sees like Hannah and Regina, and, you know, compare, and then she has to compare herself. So then I think that's when things kind of started turning.
Right. Well, so what do we say about that? I mean, do we all have that idea that, you know, if we do things differently or better, we think that that's going to keep somebody? Or if we think that yeah.
I feel like I don't even have another woman now, but I already feel that pressure. And I'm not saying Larry puts it on me. It's a self-imposed pressure. You know, like what's for dinner tonight? That's my concern. I don't feel like it's Larry's concern. When he cooks, I'm like, oh, I'm grateful. Like, thanks for helping out. But, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like the woman, you know, they keep the temperature of the house. You know, it's really up to the woman, you know, and, you know, we have sex when I determine we're having sex. Because if I say I don't feel like it, we're not doing it. So, you know, at the end of the day, I do feel like it's like a real pressure on a woman, even without another woman, you know, in a relationship. And at the end of the day, for a man, I mean, they die. So by the time men turn 60, they have like 50 women for one man. So
right.
It's a competition to the end. You know?
To the death.
To the death.
To the death.
That's why I say I will maintain my marketability, because you never know.
Yeah.
COVID-19.
Oh my God.
Calamity could strike at any minute.
Yeah, calamity. Yes, it could.
Exactly.
That is true. That is
calamity.
Absolutely. Yes. So
Doria, what do you? I want to know what Doria thinks. She's been quiet.
Oh, well, I mean, this is a tricky topic and book for me to discuss publicly.
It is for all of us. For all of us.
You're doing a great job.
I mean, I felt uncomfortable too. I understand, but you know, we live the book.
So yeah. So I mean, so the question was, would we do things to, well,
yeah, keep your.
I know. I mean, what I want to say is not what I think I would do. So that's the problem. There's like a disconnect between what I wish was true and what's actually true.
Well, whatever you want to say for the YouTube, or whatever you feel for the YouTube.
I plead the fifth.
Okay. We have to accept that. We have to accept that. No pressure.
Understood. So I think this is an interesting question, and I think we all have some experience in this. I mean, I think, Danielle, to your point, there's a lot of pressure, you know, being in a house, being, you know, with a partner. And I think there is a lot. And, you know, for me, like maintaining like, being, like upbeat and cheery. I mean, it's like being everybody's cheerleader and everybody's advocate. Like you're exhausted at the end of the day. And then, like you want to go to sleep and like, not necessarily, my husband doesn't necessarily want to go to sleep. So, so there's that.
So
there's that, and so you just think about that.
Or you got to wake up early and you're tired. I mean,
exhausted. And, and you're like, yay, here's another day, So, I mean, I think there's a lot of pressure being a woman, and also just thinking about the women out there, because what you do realize again is that there are like a million women there. I'll talk for myself. I feel like they could be lined up because the ratio is what it is.
It is what it is.
The ratio is not balanced. So,
and I know I would line up for Larry. So why wouldn't somebody else line up for Larry?
Yeah, I mean, people line up for, people and anyway.
Line up for less. They line up
for less, right? People with non-functional parts and all.
Their
like
teeth missing.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, you just gotta do your best.
That is so true.
You have to think about,
Lisa, what?
I was gonna say, you have to think about the women, that are like Thursday.
Correct. They're here. They're everywhere.
They're
With
there.
no self-esteem.
Well,
no
and that's why you have
self-esteem.
to have standards. You still have to maintain
Yeah.
standards.
Yeah.
Because if you just go with like, I don't know, the ratio, it makes it does almost produce like a scarcity mindset. Like, let me just, no, you have to have.
But what I know is there are not a lot of uses. Like we are unique women. Like there are not a lot of us. Like
we're
fun,
unicorns.
smart. You know what I mean? Like you ain't gonna have a good time like you having with her. Like you haven't gonna have with me. And I'm smart. I can pay my own bills. You know what I mean? My credit is banging. You're not gonna get this. You're just not gonna get this. My mortgage has my name on it. Like
yes.
But Thursday. I mean, she was pretty banging too, but still.
But that's what I'm so upset about Thursday is that she's this confident woman and she knows, well, she says she has all the things to be a confident woman, right? But then she does these things to show her insecurities. And it's like, I was thinking of something Daria said, like, you don't want to be that woman, right? You don't want to be that woman, but you could potentially be that woman. And it's like, why do we do these stupid things? Well, we have it.
Well, we always talk. I mean, and we've talked on the YouTube, very lightly, very lightly on the YouTube. We've talked about, like childhood experiences, right, and your first relationships. Right. And so, if we put the psychology, into this, we are very smart women. We know that that's a huge part in our relationships, in life, and that first piece. And so, when you think about it, Lisa, to your point, we kind of hear a little bit about what isn't happening or didn't happen for Thursday with dad and mom. And both of those experiences play into the roles that you play in these relationships. And so, we don't have to like dissect our own like on the YouTube, but
not on the YouTube.
Not on the YouTube. The truth of the matter is though, when we self-assess and reflect, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. Oh, and right, Daria, right? Like there's a lot there. And so from birth order to again your relationships with your initial home, your nuclear family, all those things play into all of this. And Thursday, all that she was talking about with her sibling, the way she described her daddy, and her mama, right? Like a bucket of challenges for her. A bucket. It was a bucket. So number 4, the fourth question is about Seth. And this is kind of funny. And y'all really have to let me know whether you did this or not. Now who? Seth, not who, but did you do it? So Seth accidentally texts Thursday a text meant for another wife and always calls her baby. A classic way to avoid mixing up names of women, if you're seeing more than one woman. Have you had that experience? Have you had experience like it? And
Call somebody the wrong name,
right?
or you've been called the wrong name?
Were you the one mixing
Either
up the
way, either
text,
way.
or
Yeah.
were you the receiver? And how did
Either.
it? How did it get resolved?
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't happened to me.
No. Oh my God.
I've been on the receiving end of it, and they try to lie and try to make me think I'm the crazy person. And it's just like, fool, like the evidence is right here in front of your face.
Mm-hmm,
and they will try to deny it. They're like, I didn't send that. I don't know what you're talking about. No, that was for you. Or they're like, I don't know how that got there. Like, just like, they just have like so many stupid excuses because they think that we are like so stupid or gonna believe everything they say.
Instead of owning it.
And then it's like, eventually you just end the conversation. And usually, with the exception of when that happened in college at one point, any other time that happened in my life, it was with somebody who there was like little to no investment. So when they started lying and acting stupid, I had no interest in ever speaking to them again.
You were like, bye.
Boy, bye.
Your poor handling of the situation let me know that I don't need to continue talking to you, because at that point, it probably wasn't necessary that we were only seeing each other, but you need to own up to what you did. Just admit that you sent the text to the wrong person.
Right. That's real. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Elisa, any experiences?
No, I don't think anyone's ever called me baby. I mean, I've been with Kinamo since college, so.
Oh, what a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Yeah, so I haven't had to deal with
No, that is a blessing. That is a blessing. I'm just joking. That's nice. That's lovely.
Yeah, I don't have any direct experiences, but I do know friends who've had that experience, and I had to help them like craft, like responses.
Wow.
And I just thought it was kind of like interesting. Like, do you really want to respond to this, or do you just want to let it play out? I'm a responder, so there were responses that I thought were good for the person to use. I mean, the relationships ultimately, ended, but yeah, like, you can't be messy. Don't be messy on top of being messy.
Don't be messy.
Like, don't be messy. Like, I need you to not be messy. Right. Don't be messy.
No. You know what I mean? Like,
you're already doing the most. You can't be, and I want to say this because, ladies, you all know me like for a long time. Like, I have relatives who had this situation. Like, it's a real thing. Like a real thing. And we'll talk offline, but I mean, yeah.
From the very beginning of the book, when Thursday started like talking about her relationship with Seth, I immediately thought, she's the other woman. Like, she's having the affair. Like, I knew from the very beginning.
Why? At least because she was doing what?
Well, she was only with him one day a week. He was coming and she was keeping it a secret. Like, she knew in her heart that the other women didn't know, I think, because when she did eventually meet them, she didn't tell them, So all the signs were there for me that she already knew. Like, I already knew she was
somebody else, or the other person.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was just there was definitely something wrong. Like, if they were all his wives, she was definitely not the important one.
Oh
yeah.
Do you think it had to do with the fact that she miscarried, as she thought it might?
I think I do with her self-esteem. Like, if we're at our second date and you're telling me you have a wife, bye. Like,
how did we get to the second date?
Dude, bye. I'm not messing with rings. Like, I'm not messing with what God put together. Like, we might have a good time, flirt, have fun. I'm not messing with that. Right. Bye.
Right. We do hear about that first, second date. Yeah, down. So when Thursday finds out Hannah's name accidentally, she becomes obsessed with finding out more information about the other two wives. She looks through social media accounts, creates a fake dating profile to find more information about Regina. How far is too far to find out information about the other woman?
All of that was too far.
Too
All
far.
of it. All of it. The moment I'm looking for another woman, I'm looking up her phone, I'm done. I'm out. Goodbye. I'm not doing none of this. Like I'm not.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
she had to do too much research.
I'm not
and
doing
work
any of
too
it.
hard to find those people.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she was like a private detective,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a
I'm
private
not-
eye. She was like, it was
Mm-mm.
it was a lot of work.
I'm not doing that. No.
Yeah, and she's showing up at the house. She's acting like
How?
she's somebody
Yeah,
else. She's
yeah.
meeting them different places, having meals. I'm like, oh no.
No, that's crazy. Nobody wants to be the crazy person.
So what do
You
you
know?
what do you think holds her back from confronting Seth? You know, when she
She's
does,
insecure.
so she just
Because she's scared to be by herself. She's scared to lose him.
Yes.
She doesn't know how to she doesn't know who she is without a man, without that man.
without
Because
that
she thinks
man.
that man defined her because she thought
Agree.
she needed him when she met him, because he was like this amazing man that made her feel things she never felt. And
Are there women like
and
are
she
there
lost
women
her
like that?
ability to have a child after him.
What did Keisha say? Other women what? Other women
Are
what?
there women like that? Are
Yeah.
there women like that amongst
Yeah.
us?
Yeah.
But remember, she was pregnant by him, and then and had to have a hysterectomy
Yeah,
after the miscarriage. So there's a lot of trauma in that.
sure.
And so, and then he left her.
Yeah.
He left her when she could not have children anymore. So there's just like, that's just super messy, because part of the reason he was with her was because she could have kids.
But they were married. Like she was just messy in general. Like
Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying, but he left his first wife.
Well, he cheated.
Yeah.
And then his first wife left him, if you recall. Because-
Right. But I'm saying, but part of the
she was
reason they were
pregnant.
together was because of the kids, of like the desire of like of her.
Oh, the original intent. Yeah. The original idea that they were, she was, agreed.
And he threw her away when she could no longer reproduce. So she lost in her mind, like
her purpose or
who she
value.
was as a woman.
Yeah.
And her value. And so she was trying to get that man back to see if she could reclaim her value.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Elisa, did you have a thought about that?
Thinking about the damage that men can have on women, and like the fact that she literally went crazy after that, like losing the baby, I'm sure was very traumatic for her, but the fact that he left her and went to another woman who could bear children, that just, it's concerning when I think about like the effect that men can have on women.
Yeah.
wait, no, she was crazy before that.
Right. So I was gonna say,
man gonna sit down and say you're married and I'm still seeing you.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
not signing up for that.
He continued to sleep with her.
Right.
No, she continued to sleep with him.
Right.
Well,
but
he allowed it to continue to happen
Right.
after he married the other woman.
Because when we know the truth of it, so if we take out the 3 wives concept,
then she was never married to him.
She was never married to anybody, and she was the conduit between.
She had 2 affairs.
Right. She was
with the same man.
Right. 2 different women on the other side.
Both of his marriages.
Like a bookend. She was in the middle, just like the pages. Like
she was like never mind, be quiet. I'm on YouTube.
Wrong. He was
We're on
so
the YouTube.
wrong, though.
He was wrong.
Who was wrong?
Seth was wrong.
Seth was wrong, and she was wrong.
Yes.
They were both wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
They
Agreed.
definitely were both wrong.
They're both adults. They both signed up for that. Like,
right.
That's a mess. That's a mess.
Well, but I think she didn't realize she was
had a psychotic.
She had a break from reality
that
allowed her to live in this like this split world where, like, I mean, in her mind, she was married to the man.
Yeah.
She had created a different reality for herself.
And
because
he knew
was wrong
that after the hysterectomy, and allowed her to stay in that fantasy world with the delusions, and kept using her for the affair, because because that's the word, because that was like what she believed was reality, was that
Right.
she was one of the
So
wives.
question, did he die?
Seth? No, he's
No, he was
paralyzed. Paralyzed. Yeah,
Okay,
she
so
shot
I
him.
must
He
have
lived.
fast forwarded past that part.
Yeah.
I got to the part where she shot him and he was
Yeah.
bleeding.
He was
And
bleeding.
then I skipped.
He's alive.
Okay.
Yeah, he's alive.
He's
Paralyzed.
paralyzed from the waist down.
So my question about Seth, because Seth has, I feel like a great responsibility here, marrying two people and, you know, having, you know, relations all throughout with everybody. To me, Seth comes out like on top.
Well, but he wasn't married to two people at the same time.
No, he wasn't. But Regina does say that when he would come through, he came through.
He came through.
He came through.
And
Well,
so
so he was cheating. He cheated on two separate wives.
Correct.
I mean,
But he-
but that's
but Hannah-
probably what that's probably what happened in real life.
No, right. It did. So he cheated on Hannah. He was cheating on, so Hannah was his wife. He still was sleeping with Regina, and he was sleeping with Thursday.
He was sleeping with all three. At
All
the
three.
end.
Yeah, no,
And,
I get
and
that.
there are probably more that we don't know that
But
they weren't
my
included.
point is that to me was very realistic.
Oh, agreed.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Because we would have to think about a person. So my question is around Seth's personality. When someone can get away with it once, twice, three times, you know, to your point, Danielle, like I'm sure there were several others because
I'm sure there were more.
he clearly is. He felt like he was trending really well with it.
That's who he is. You know.
What made him like that? What happened to him when we were talking about childhood trauma?
I don't know if it's childhood trauma because, you know, I'm not talking about my own self. You know what I'm saying?
No, we're
But
on the YouTube.
you on the YouTube, but you could be like disloyal with some people and then faithful as I don't know what with other people.
Interesting.
And it's not like your trauma. It could just be like, you know,
The phase of your life.
He was raised
the phase of your life
with with a polygamous father.
Yeah.
So
Or his father had 4
that
wives.
was his role model, so to speak. You know,
who he struggled with.
that is exactly. And so that is, you know, the lifestyle that he saw. So why wouldn't he think it's not as bad as it is? You know, because that's what his father did.
Or did he think he was doing a better job because he did, you know, divorce Regina? He was sleeping with Thursday. He did marry Hannah, you know. So did he think he was better than his father? And
But
his
they
father,
also alluded to like a childhood that had some abuse,
sure.
and also that the father had some mental illness, and it seemed maybe like schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Because he had some delusions, and like when he was talking about like when he ended up killing himself and the wife, like his mom.
Yeah.
And because remember there were the emails that were
Right.
basically he had warned Seth that he was going to do this.
He was going to kill
Seth
his.
didn't intervene.
Yeah, Seth did nothing.
For,
He was
for
gonna,
whatever reason, which we don't really know.
Right. We don't
So,
hear his.
like so there could be some hereditary things with mental illness
Sure.
that are going on with Seth. But also I think that they're based on some things that Hannah said, where he had like some things that were talking about trauma. But it was interesting because Hannah said that he had been abused by an older brother,
by a sibling,
but Regina said that Seth was the oldest.
Right.
So it could be a cousin or an uncle or somebody who knows exactly what happened, if anything actually did happen.
Or was Seth the one abusing sibling?
Right.
Right.
Who knows?
So we don't really know.
But something went on in his childhood.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So thinking about role reversal. This is an interesting question.
Auntie, yes, role
so
reversal.
if roles were reversed and Seth was a woman and had
what we on number 10? Number 10.
Yeah, number 10.
Okay.
If roles were reversed and Seth was a woman and had 3 husbands, what would the top 3 things that the husband should be able to satisfy for you as a wife?
The top 3 things that they would be able to do?
Yeah.
Massages.
Disappeared.
Elisa
did just disappear. What happened?
I do not know.
I don't know.
How did she just disappear? Lisa, you don't want to answer that question, honey? Well,
About
and
top 3 things.
That is a hard question. That's a really difficult question.
Yeah.
Because I think here's why it's hard. Because your needs change over time.
Yeah.
Even if you have perfect self-awareness, like your needs are going to change over time. So like it's hard to say. Like I could say what I would want right now,
Mm-hmm.
but that may be different in 6 months, in a year.
Sure.
And to me, that's why it's so like the person you're with, you have to be able to grow with, period. That's the most important thing.
well, for me,
Mhm.
my top 3 things are companionship. I need to be able to have a good time with you. Like at the end of the day, when I come home, I want to come home to you. I want to enjoy you. I want to be able to have happy hour with you. Be stuck in the coronavirus epidemic and be like, we're good, baby, because I got you. I want to be able to be intimate with you and enjoy our time together. I'm on the YouTube, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I want to be able to enjoy that. And you know what I'm saying? So the companionship, the intimacy, and then I need you to be a protector and a provider. Like I need to know that you put your family first. You're gonna die for me, you're gonna provide for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying these are any particular order. It might be protect and provide first.
And then die.
You know what I'm saying? But I think those 3 things, like that you're my friend, that when we get down, and that you're gonna fight for me and you're gonna provide for me. Yeah.
Oh, definitely important.
Hmm.
Alana, any thoughts?
Mm. I want someone who is that would be my friend. Like Danielle said, like someone you can talk to, have fun with, laugh with. I also, so wait a minute, we're talking about three what
Yeah,
the
like
different
3
people
things.
provide?
Welcome back, Elisa.
Oh, there you are.
So
Welcome back.
Are we saying
Sorry,
what
my
we
battery died.
Oh,
what we would want?
Girl, be prepared. Be prepared.
No,
Elisa,
my first
seriously.
YouTube live video.
Oh,
Alana-
you're doing great. You're doing great.
So, Alana, it was about the 3 things that like the husband should be able to satisfy for you as the wife, right?
Okay.
So,
No, I purposely left on that question.
I
Wait,
would-
Alana, think about it. I just want to tell Lisa real quick what I said, and then we'll go back to you. I said companionship. You need to be able to put it down when we put it down, and you need to protect and provide.
Yep.
And now, Alana, go ahead.
I would want him to be able to also provide on all levels of intimacy, physical, emotional,
Yes, girl.
and and also I and be able to reciprocate in terms of us being able to care and nurture each other, care for and nurture each other.
Alana, I like that. Yeah.
that's a really nice one.
Yeah.
I like that.
They need to be able to handle appropriately receiving it.
Agreed.
Yeah, because that's I find that to be really hard for men that I've met. That they have a hard time receiving it. They may give it better than they receive it, but I want them to be able to do both.
Good job, Alana. Yeah. Because that's vulnerability. You know, that's like, I'm vulnerable. Like, I like that. Yeah.
Elisa.
Wait, I
Any
didn't hear
thoughts?
what Daria said.
He hasn't gone yet.
Well, so I kind of again took a little bit of a detour from the question. But I think my answer still is relevant.
And it doesn't have to be 3. You know that, Darn. No pressure.
Well, but I mean, I can say 3 things. I mean, I think somebody that I can grow with, somebody that I can learn from, and then the intimacy piece. I mean, that has to be off the charts.
Oh, off the charts.
Yeah, off the charts.
When we are,
I mean, it's all relative, right? I mean,
Sure.
so yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be off the charts.
I mean, it has to be what you
Damn.
need, right? It has to be what you need.
Yeah.
No, that's not off the charts. It needs to be what she needs. That's not off the chart. She said it has to be
Off the
off
charts.
the charts.
Did
Mhm.
you answer, Keish?
I didn't know because I'm the moderator. I go last because I'm trying to facilitate. Elisa?
Well, I would definitely say they have to be able to protect and provide. I have to have some type of intellectual stimulation. You know, I need someone who's smart, witty, funny, charming, and yeah, sexy. You know, I want them to be good looking, can handle me in the bedroom, and that's all.
And that's all.
It's plenty.
It's not too much to ask, is it?
It's not, girl.
No,
Don't
it's
settle.
not.
Don't
It's not.
settle.
It's not. So, yeah. I mean, I think you've all said a great deal. I think for me, yes, I feel like a protector, someone who you can physically and mentally and emotionally vibe with. I think very important. I think someone who can challenge you. For me, I like a little bit of a challenge. I like a little banter. I like a little discomfort. I think works well for me because I always feel like I want to, bring my A game, and I won't bring it unless you bring it. So,
such a true statement, Keisha. Exclamation point.
I need you to bring it so that I will bring it. So, we'll talk about that offline. Offline. We'll talk more about that. But
off the tube, off
the YouTube. Yeah. So, I mean, very much so. So I think we're all in agreement, and I think vulnerability, I'm learning about that, the last few years as I'm approaching my mid 40s. That's a real big piece of I think intimacy, and something that I really find a value in, and it's interesting. It's a journey. So listen, we're winding to the hour. We're at a minute after the hour already, and we have to talk about the next month and this book. Just the summary wind up was Poor Thursday. Poor Thursday.
Thursday.
Listen, she's going to jail at this point. She's going.
Yeah, because she done banged up the girl's head, killed her probably, bit her face.
She done did the most. Like,
she
girl,
did the most.
She did.
Where were her girlfriends? Like, seriously, like
she
y'all
didn't
would
have
stop
any.
me.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
she didn't.
problem.
That's true. She had no girlfriends.
Nope.
That's
she
the
had
problem.
the girl at work who she said she didn't want to be in the like miscarriage girls club. She didn't really. She only had one other friend that she mentioned once or twice. Didn't hear about her. She was all wrapped up in this man who wasn't hers.
Yep.
I mean, were we seeing the problems here?
Yep.
And the mother who wanted her to act like everything was okay and perfect, and then the father who sort of kind of like ignored her because she wasn't like the queen or the star. So there was lots going on.
Actually, the father didn't really ignore her the way that she
described it,
because he was there, but
and she thought it was Seth.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that her father didn't have in her mind as a child and all the childhood things that make a dad or whatever prominent in your mind. There's a gap there, where you can mistake your dad for Seth because that's the person you wanted there.
She just had a lot of issues.
Totally. Oh, totally. But these are the reasons why we read these books, to dig and delve into ourselves, reflect, talk about what's important to us. And I think, one of the things I was thinking about, is friendship and having someone to bounce ideas off of. If she had a friend or two or three, what I mean? Right.
Like, I gotta be honest, I wouldn't let none of y'all do that dumb mess.
No. And your coworker telling you to go stalk somebody, that's you're gonna take the advice from your coworker?
Well, Keisha, you did stalk somebody for me. Let's stop.
Well, that's out of love. Female love, right. I had to because you couldn't, because I didn't want you to get caught. You know what I mean? That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Different, you know. We were near the, you know. Anyway, we'll talk
Right.
about that off the tube. But you know, that's different. Your friend doing something for your friend, or your friend, like, you know, kicking in a fence at a park for you. Like, that's all different than.
True.
Right.
You're a great friend. You're a great friend.
Thank you. I believe that what you give is what you get. And so I certainly feel very honored and blessed. So, you know, we have to talk about next month. So Daria, I know that you probably have our list for next month. I don't know where Lisa
Yes.
is on.
Yes.
Next month, April.
I can tell you
Can
the
you
date.
imagine?
I can tell you the date. It's going to be April the 23rd at 8 p.m.
April the
We'll be
23rd.
discussing The Glass Castle by Jeannette
Oh.
Walls.
Now, The Glass Castle, from what I've heard, I mean, big, very popular book.
Really?
Good.
April 23rd, yeah, very popular. I mean, we'll see, because you know how we love our different kinds of genre. And we may or may not be quarantined. We don't know what 30 days from now will look like.
That's
we don't
true.
know what 30 days.
But at least we have
this
option.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a platform. We have a platform, which is really great. So April 23rd, we're going to read The Glass Castle. Now, how do you feel about reading one book for the month? Is everybody feeling swamped? Everybody feeling like we could do another? Should we just stick with one? Wanted to throw it out to my co-hosts.
Well, we have a spring break too,
where we're going to be.
I'm okay with just the one book. It seems like, I'm looking at the description of it right now.
Yeah.
It seems like it's going to take me a while to get through this book.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's fair. So April 20th,
but I'm open to reading a second. I'm open to trying a second one if that's what you guys are trying to do.
Well, you know what? We'll talk about it in our group chat, and we can make a determination and then post. April 23rd, 8 p.m. The Glass Castle. So start reading. I appreciate all of you joining us via Zoom, via YouTube, and our special guests tonight, Alana and Elisa. You did great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Made it nice.
So wonderful having you here. And good night, everyone. And don't forget, live the book.
Live the book.
Bye, everybody.